and another almost rookie. Second season on the FWT, first season riding for Growth Britannian. And it's Cody Bramwell! Yeah!
Hold on. I'm not just going to spoil the ending like that. Let's back up a few months. Here. A little garage in the north of Sweden. 9 years ago, I actually used to live in this garage, right there. But now, it's a scene of sensual snowboard waxing prowess by a salty local legend by the name of Pete Bramwell. The board that he's waxing belongs to a strapping young buck called Cody Bramwell, and this story is about him. Cody is a professional snowboarder who competes on the Freeride World Tour, which pits some of the most psychopathic skiers and snowboarders against steep, gnarly, unforgiving mountain faces in 5 different countries each winter. Earlier this year, I followed Cody around for 4 months documenting his every move, half just because I was curious to see what it actually means to be a pro snowboarder, and the other reason was because we somehow convinced his sponsors to foot the bill for a full-time barnacle like me to drive around Europe and get to hang with a bunch of ski bum mates.
Did you bring the dome piece, Rory?
Pretty good deal. So our saga began in Cody's hometown, the sleepy mountainside village of Tegefjäll, just on the cusp of the Arctic Circle in the north of Sweden. We kicked the winter off by building a tiny jump on about 2 inches of snow, perfect conditions for a pre-season injury that would take Cody out for the year. Not long after that, the season officially began. The lifts opened, the shred crew came out of hibernation, and it just felt good to be back on snow. Crashing into Cody with the cartilage of my nose didn't feel that good.
Dude, what the fuck?
We didn't stay for too long in Sweden, but the time we did spend there was littered with all-day sunsets, after-dark kicker sessions, tree runs, and finally, to see us on our way, the Norse gods of winter sent a fresh powder dump for our last days in the cold white north.
Oh my god!
It was cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, it was time to head south. We rendezvoused in Malmö, where we pooled our considerable resources and purchased the finest 2004 Toyota Corolla station wagon that money could buy. Then it was time to brave the high seas and ship out for the continent.
Work, lads.
A few miscommunications at German McDonald's drive-thrus later.
Oh, we don't know any Deutsch though.
Then after a quick stop to pick up some merch, it was on to the land of Toblerone and high-altitude groomer shredding sessions. Engelberg, Switzerland. Cody was booked in for a photo shoot with professional photographer Oscar Ananda.
Nice.
The boys got some good snaps. I think Cody even managed to cop a few
Face shots.
After the glitz and glamour, Cody remembered that competitive snowboarders should probably actually do some competitions.
Back on the road.
So we headed to the rich boy playground of St. Moritz. I know what you're thinking, these blokes must be making bank. To satisfy your curiosity, here's a video of me heating up some canned ravioli with a candle in our hotel room. Okay, first competition of the year time. It was the Engadine Snow Team Comp, where you ride a gnarly face with a partner and you get scored based on how synchronized your tricks are or something. Confused? Yeah, me too. Anyway, to prepare for the maiden competition of 2021, Cody decided to backflip into a tree and crack his rib 2 days before. Being a tough nut from the north of Sweden,
I mean, I've broke my ribs before.
Cody decided to compete anyway. He partnered with the up-and-coming Austrian triple backflip specialist Max Hitzig, and the boys headed to the top. Some gnarly rappelling later, and suddenly it was time to compete.
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
Run 1 went really well. Run 2, however... Well, at least he's happy.
I'm fucking happy. I'm glad I did the comp there.
They also shouted us a pizza and a few brewskis, so not a total loss. After a hungover shoveling session and 9 hours spent lost on the back roads of Switzerland,
It's supposed to take 3 hours.
I decided to hit this young man with the hard questions.
Man, these are like questions that would destroy my career, mate. You can't ask these questions.
8 hours of bone-chilling interrogation later, the sun popped out and we went riding.
Look at this, yo. What? We're living the dream.
The next day we got the call. The Freeride World Tour was on. It was time for these muchachos to vamonos over to Andorra and try win some schmun. It had been 10 months since the last comp and Cody was kind of nervous.
Pretty nervous, eh?
Lines were scoped,
Spine goes like this.
homies were reunited with. Helmets were dodgily taped to resemble the Union Jack, and it was time to compete.
This young man, like you said, he's a diverse background.
Big old top hit and a backflip.
A nail-biting backflip and one of Cody's patented double shifties later.
The
Cody
double
Bramwell.
shifty there.
This Swede turned Brit managed to come away with his first ever freeride World Tour win.
I can't believe that. Oh, I'm so stoked, man.
After awkwardly struggling with the champagne cork on the podium,
Come on, bro.
Cody redeemed himself by buying a tray of Andorra's finest barley sandwiches for the homies.
Why do we have like 20 beers?
They didn't all get drunk though. Without much time to lick our wounds, we got the call that, looks like there's going to be an unprecedented second comp in Andorra.
Stress is on again.
On the same face.
I'll give you
It was time to find out if this young man was a one-hit wonder or a future icon of the sport.
Round 2.0.
So there he was, in the start gate, wearing the elusive golden leader's bib for the first time. The beginning of Cody's run looked promising.
What's he got for us here today? I think that's going to be an important factor in the judging and a nice front three.
But the Spanish gods of snow had a treacherous crust layer waiting for Cody at the bottom of his cliff drop. It wasn't the result our hero had been searching for,
Fuck, man.
but at least he went for it.
I'm good, man.
Due to some snow conditions or something, we found ourselves stranded in Andorra for the next 3 weeks. So to pass the time, we took in everything this Pyrenean gem had to offer. Golf.
That's straight in there.
Basketball. Then our first park session of the winter, which went well for Cody. Not so great for me though. Alright, all that took us about 1 day, so now what do we do? With the combined brain power of some other stranded athletes, a plan was devised. To hike to the border of Andorra and France and build a backcountry kicker. Cody got to land some flippies and some spinnies, which was great for his confidence after crashing twice during his internationally live-streamed run. A quick slide down the world's longest roller coaster. Then Cody received a call. Next comp confirmed. Our destination, the Austrian Alps.
Let's get the fudge out of here.
We discovered a lonesome straggler along the way.
Welcome to Crusty. Let's.
And as an Australian, we like to take care of our helpless little Kiwi brethren. So we made some room in the boot and stuffed in New Zealand's most camera-shy
The
skier,
beast.
Blake Marshall. A quick stop off at the head factory for the boys to pick up some more merch. They even threw in a sled for your boy behind the camera, which was pretty damn decent.
Rorza, here's yours, mate. It's me. This is you.
Before you know it, it was time to scope lines on the cool touchscreen thing that we mainly just played Mario Kart on.
Oh.
That's pretty rowdy.
Then it was time. With a first and a last under his belt, Cody was not guaranteed to make the cut for the finals, which also meant that this next run would determine if he would be booted off the World Tour or not. No pressure though, man. After an early wake up and enough coffee to strip his insides,
You done double Joes, eh?
Double Joes.
Top of the morning, do it.
and a few minutes spent starstruck when we rode up in the same gondola as Giggy Roof, Cody almost missed his helicopter ride.
Kinda very late. I'm like running up to the heli.
But after some treacherous mountain goating to the start gate, there he was again. His competitive career potentially resting on the next 90 seconds of his life.
The guides, and it is super intimidating. So airing into something like that, it's so blind, and Cody just
After a solid top section, Cody showed a competitive wisdom beyond his years and didn't go for anything too risky, knowing that staying on his feet was really the most important thing in order to make it through to the final in Verbia and take a shot at the world title.
Yeah, I just want to get through, yeah. I'm glad I didn't try anything more.
His run landed him a fourth, securing a third place overall and a ticket to the finals, where they even give you a little chockey with it.
Good chocolate as well.
Hey, sick. That's alright.
The next morning was bittersweet, as we said goodbye to roughly half the tour who didn't make the cut, then pressed on towards the mecca of freeriding,
5 hours of driving?
Yes, sir.
Verbia, Switzerland. But on the way, we stopped at the Engelberg Lodge for a quick soak
We're here at the Engelberg Lodge. Look back.
and for Cody to score some power before having to stare down one of the scariest mountain faces known to man.
Yeah, and the face looks scary AF.
It's also hard to pronounce. Bec de Rosses, something like that. I don't know, I'm just going to call it the Beck. Conditions were perfect in Verbia. The sun was out, the snow was deep, although surely in the back of our protagonist's mind lurked the fear of a violent and painful death should he crash at the wrong moment during his run. But anyway, before that we went surfing. Nothing like some unnaturally perfect waves in the middle of the Swiss Alps to make you forget about the gnarly competition you're a part of the next day. And then it was here, Judgement Day. As I watched Cody load into the heli for the last time, with the mountain face he was about to do battle with looming ominously in the background, I couldn't help but feel proud that the skinny 17-year-old Swedish boat driver who I'd met in Greece 8 years earlier was now a serious contender to become a world champion. And off he went.
Okay, Cody Bramwell dropping in from the UK, 26 years old.
Cody's run was good, really good.
There's the backy!
With a score of 89, Cody went straight to the hot seat.
89, bro. 89.
Where he had an anxious wait as rider after rider came down. Then it came time for Victor Delarue's run, a man who has charged down more cliffs than I've had hot dinners. Victor laid down a monstrous score of 92 to edge Cody off the throne, and similar to Scar's encounter with Mufasa, our young hero was cast down to second place in the Verbier Extreme, ending up third in the overall rankings. Not bad if you ask me. After his trademark struggle with the champagne cork and an emotional tribute from his American partner in crime and overall silver medalist Blake Moller,
You're in utter love to this fucking guy.
it was time for the saga of Crusty Lips 2021 to come to an end.
What a season.
So yeah, that was it. A trip that lasted 4 months, through 6 countries, countless corona tests, reuniting with old friends and meeting some new ones. Probably not as much actual snowboarding as you were expecting, sorry about that. But sometimes the best thing about snowboarding is everything that happens in between. So what's next for Cody Bramwell and Crusty Lips? Good question. Well, the 2022 season is coming in hot, and Cody will be once again hunting that elusive world title. And as for the future of our Crusty Lips YouTube channel, well, I guess you'll just have to wait to find out.
Let's get it. Do it.